welcome back to Melissa's Kitchen Table. Today I'm going to show you how I make my version of baked zucchini. And that is a substitution for like a baked ziti. We're going to use the zucchini instead. But you could make this as a side dish if you wanted to some meat or something. You're going to use a pound of either sausage or ground beef or ground turkey, whatever you like, or you could omit it. If that's up to you. I had this in the freezer. They're sausage patties, but we'll just use it as ground sausage. And I have some zucchini here. And like a fool, I used the other two I had for dinner the other night, but I still have some yellow squash, so I'll just use that. Now to make the sauce, I'm going to use about 3 cups of crushed tomatoes or some kind of marinara sauce. I'll use that, and I have another jar here that I had recently purchased. I've never used this before, but it has onion, garlic, and basil. You're going to need some ricotta. I have the 15-ounce container. And use whatever cheese you prefer, but of course mozzarella is usually what people use in this dish. I'm going to use some of this and some cheddar because I don't have enough of the mozzarella. So first you're going to start by making your sauce. And I am going to dice up this onion, and I'm going to get this pot heating up so we could cook the onion and the sausage. Okay, so I have the pot heating up, and I just peeled my onion, cut it in half, and then I'm just going to cut it into strips like that, and then turn it and cut down. And then when you get to a certain point, you can flip it and keep going, so you get nice diced, small dice. You can use fresh garlic if you want. I don't have any. And if you don't like fresh onion, you can use onion powder. Sometimes I use both. It all depends. If I had the garlic, I would definitely use that. And this is getting warmed up still. Okay, so I'm probably only going to use 28 ounces because that's actually 3 cups. So I'm just going to use that. If you like yours extra saucy, by all means. We don't. So I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil in the pan. Let me move all this so you can see. Okay. And then I'm going to add the meat right to the pan. And yes, my hands are clean. And like I said, if you have to use sausage links, you can just remove the sausage from it. You can use ground beef, whatever you have. Or make it without any meat at all. Alright, so let me wash my hands. Alright, so that's pretty much browned, not cooked. Chopped it up as much as I could. I'm going to add in my onion. If you like your sauce sweet, you could add sugar. My family doesn't. You could also grate a carrot. That would help with the sweetness, but I know some people like their sauce kind of on the sweet side. So I am going to season this Use whatever you like, but I'm going to use some onion powder. Oh, sorry for the glare. I'm going to use some of this Mushroom & Company, the multi-purpose umami seasoning blend from Trader Joe's. That is so good. And then it has a little crushed red pepper in it. Otherwise, I would just add the red pepper myself. And then some garlic. Add as much or as little as you and your family like. And salt and pepper to taste. I wait until the sauce is almost done, just because sausage can be salty. Alright, so I'm going to let this saute until those onions are translucent, about 5 minutes. Okay, in the meantime, while the sauce is cooking, I did put it on about medium. I'm going to cut my zucchini and my squash. And I want to cut them into thicker chunks, about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. So you want good chunks. Now these are watery vegetables, especially if you're going to use like garden veggies. They have more water. So I want a nice thick sauce. So I won't be adding anything to thin out the sauce. Alright, so I'm going to cut all of these up and I'll show you when I put the tomatoes in. Okay, so this does have a lot of brown bits on the bottom, and I said I wasn't going to put anything to thin it out, but I'm going to put a little white wine, just a little to lift that up. That's about 1/4 cup. You really don't want much more, because we don't want to thin the sauce. But I do want to pull up all that flavor that's in the bottom there. Be careful of the steam. It's hot. Alright. So just a little trick that I use, because I don't have one of those meat things. I just use a metal spatula. Alright, so I'm going to lower this even more to about low. Now you can do this real quick. See how there's no liquid in there? So that's what I want. And I'm going to put my can of crushed tomatoes. You can use tomato sauce too if you'd like. Or you could just use jarred pasta sauce, pizza sauce, whatever your family likes is what you should use. So I'm going to let mine sit just on as low as the setting can go. I'm going to let it sit just for about a 1/2 hour, because usually when you're using a canned tomato product that's not cooked, so like a jarred pasta sauce is fine, but something like this, the tomato's not cooked, so it'll be very acidic. This way, it'll cook out the acidity, or you could just add the sugar, but I like mine to sit just a little bit. So I'll show you when I put this all together, and we'll pop it in the oven, and we'll be back. Okay, so here is what this looks like, and I'm going to add the zucchini to it. You could just layer it in the dish if you want, but this way the zucchini will get covered. Now, if your family doesn't like just the zucchini, you could cook up some ziti and mix it in. That way you have a little bit of both. It's up to you. Alright, so that's all that we have. I mean, you could use this as your main dish. You could put a side of spaghetti, like if you're not doing this for low carb reasons. That's up to you. All right, so I'm gonna put this in a baking dish. Sorry if you guys can't see. It's hard to get it in with the camera. All right, so like I said, the most obvious choice of cheese is going to be mozzarella. There, you know, move this over. So that, of course, to me, is the most obvious choice. A couple of the recipes I've seen use cheddar. You can use whatever you want, whatever you have on hand. I know right now it's really hard getting certain things, so just use what you have. I don't think any cheese would be bad on it, to be honest. I'm going to use, I only have just this one little pack of the pearls. I'm going to use that at the end because that is a fresh, even though I froze it, it's a fresh mozzarella. That's very watery, and I don't think it'll be good to use while baking. So what I am going to use is some Parmesan cheese right now and the ricotta. So for this, let me open it. I'm just going to put little dollops all over. You could just dump it out if you want and smear it. That's up to you. You just want it all over. So, then to this, we will add, just spread it out a little bit. Okay, to this, I'm going to add about a ½ cup of Parmesan cheese. Now, if you are going to use cheese, like the mozzarella or whatever, on the top after, you're going to want to put that on after. Like, of the last 5 minutes of baking. Alright, so it is a lot of Parmesan, but it's good. And that'll help salt the ricotta as well. So I am going to put this in, I believe it's 350 degrees. I'll put it on the screen and in the recipe down below. It's going to bake from anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. Usually it's right around an hour and 15 minutes. Now, I'm not baking this right away. I'm going to bake it later for dinner, so I will insert a picture of what it looks like, and I will leave all the information down below for this recipe. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe and share, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye!